Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Imad and I'm a student at Rehan School Foundation Level Batch 10. Today we will have a talk with Miles regarding the phrase "What's the matter?" and how it's commonly used in today's language. So yeah, let's just start.
Hey, what's up?
Yo, Miles, I wanted to ask you some questions regarding the phrase "What's the matter?" So be ready, okay?
I'm locked in. Hit me with it.
Okay, when someone looks upset, we automatically ask, "What's the matter?" But matter is also a scientific word for physical stuff, such as solids, liquids, and gases. So, how did a word about physical objects become our go to phrase for asking about emotional pain or distress?
That's a dope observation. It's a wild jump from atoms and molecules to why are you crying, right? But in this case, matter isn't actually talking about the physical stuff. It's coming from the old school meaning of something being important or having significance. Like when you say it doesn't matter, you're saying it's not significant. So when we ask what's the matter, we're basically asking what the significant problem is. It's more about weight and importance than solids and gases. Pretty cool how the same word pulls double duty like that. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, so you just said it's about weight. So, is weight and solids, liquids, and gases, are they like uh, related? Because they are both scientific terms.
I see where you're going with that, but they're actually coming from two different directions. The physical stuff matter comes from the Latin word materia, which basically means wood or building material. It's all about the substance you can touch. The what's the matter version comes from matter, meaning something that is important or carries weight in a situation. So one is about physical mass, and the other is about emotional or situational weight. It's just a linguistic coincidence that they ended up using the same word. Pretty wild how language just collides like that, right?
Okay, so you're basically saying that it went from literal wood and physical stuff to meaning an abstract problem. So how did this transition happen in history?
Let me look into the timeline for you. It's usually these weird, slow drifts where a word starts as something literal, like timber or wood in Latin, and then people start using it for the stuff of a conversation. Around the 12th century, it shifted from physical building materials to the material of a thought or a speech. By the 14th century, it was being used to describe a business affair or a situation. It even hit the legal world in the 1500s as something to be proved in court. So it basically went from a piece of wood to a piece of business, and eventually to the emotional matter we ask about today. It's almost like the word just kept expanding its horizons. I think we'll see more words drift from physical objects to abstract feelings like that.
How does this word, like how does this phrase just change meanings throughout history?
It's basically a slow fade. Words rarely just jump from one meaning to another overnight. It's more like a gradual drift. People start using a word metaphorically, like calling a topic the material of a conversation, and after a few generations of that, the metaphor just becomes the new literal meaning. It's usually driven by laziness or a need for a shortcut to describe something complex. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I get it.
You're thinking about it,
So
aren't you?
yeah. Okay, is there a psychological reason why human beings prefer to ask about a physical matter rather than just asking about why are you sad?
You're really peeling back the layers on this one. I think it's about distance. Asking why are you sad is a direct hit. It's very intimate and puts someone on the spot to be vulnerable immediately. What's the matter is a bit more detached. It frames the problem as an external thing or a matter that exists between you rather than a feeling inside them. It gives the other person a little more breathing room to decide how much they actually want to share. Does that feel right to you, or do you think it's more of a subconscious habit?
Okay, I mean your point is not wrong, but the thing is we also say what's wrong or what happened. So is there a linguistic difference in the vibe or history of these phrases compared to what's the matter?
That's a great call. There's definitely a different energy to each of those. What's the matter? Feels a bit more investigative, like you're looking for the root cause of the glitch. What's wrong was a bit more urgent and direct. It assumes something is already broken. Then you've got what happened, which is the most open ended of the bunch, basically asking for the story leading up to the mood. It's like a scale of how much you're assuming versus how much you're just observing. You ever notice how you pick one over the other, depending on who you're talking to?
Mm, yeah, I do
Fair
actually.
enough. It's like a subtle social dance, right? You probably use different ones for your friends than you would for someone you're just meeting.
Yeah, to be
Uh,
honest,
I'm, I'm,
yeah,
I'm wondering
I
with
use less formal things in front of my friends and more formal ones to others, like who I respect.
that makes total sense. Like you're adjusting the volume of the question based on the relationship. When there's a lot of respect or a bit of a gap in status, you keep it more guarded. With friends, you can just dive straight into the deep end. I wonder if those formal versions actually make people more likely to open up or if they just create a safer wall to hide behind.
To be honest, I think the less formal ones, the less formal phrases, they make you feel more secure because it makes the crying person or the sad person feel more close or more attached to you. No.
That's a real human insight right there. It turns the conversation from an inquiry into a connection. By dropping the formality, you're basically signaling, I'm in the trenches with you, rather than just observing from the outside. It takes the pressure off the problem and puts the focus on the relationship. I bet that makes a massive difference in how someone actually responds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Do other languages share this concept of using physical stuff or subjects to ask about someone's emotional state?
That's a deep dive. I've always wondered if this is a specifically English quirk or if it's just how the human brain works across the board. And it turns out it's a huge thing globally. Lots of languages use physical stuff as a shortcut for emotions. For example, people often talk about trauma as being wounded, or they describe distress as a burden you're carrying. Some cultures even treat anger like a physical substance inside a container, like your body is just a jar that can overflow. Seems like humans just can't help but use the physical world to make sense of the messy emotional stuff. Does it make more sense to you when you think of emotions as physical weights or containers?
To be honest, I've never thought of that way. Like thinking of emotions as objects, it's it's just that I've never thought about it. It's too unnatural for me.
I get that. When you're actually in it, an emotion doesn't feel like a thing or a container. It just feels like your whole world for a second. Thinking of it as an object is more of a way to analyze it from the outside, but that doesn't make it feel natural when you're actually living it.
Yeah. Okay, so my
It's
next
like the
question,
difference.
it's okay. We'll just move on to the next question, which is the phrase can sound incredibly comforting, but if you change the inflection, like snapping, what's the matter with you? It becomes an insult. So, how can the same words flip so drastically?
It's all in the delivery. The words are just the skeleton, but the tone is the muscle and skin that actually gives it shape. When you ask, what's the matter softly, you're offering a hand to pull someone up. But when you snap, what's the matter with you, you're not asking a question anymore. You're making a judgment. You're basically saying their behavior is a glitch or a problem that needs fixing. It's wild how a slight shift in pitch can turn a hug into a slap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's pretty deep. Okay, so my next question is, in modern texting and internet culture, we've shortened our check ins even further to things like you okay or what's up. Uh, so, is the traditional what's the matter dying out in today's world?
I think it's shifting, but it's not totally dead. Things like "you okay" are way faster and fit that digital vibe of efficiency. They're a bit more like a ping to see if you're still there. What's the matter feels a bit more heavy, like you're actually pausing the world for a second to address something. Um, I feel like we still use them when things get real, but for the day to day, we've definitely traded depth for speed. Find yourself using the short versions more, or do you still go for the full phrase when you're actually worried?
No, to be honest, I just use the shorter phrases because yeah, they're just more quicker and easier to say. Your observation is pretty accurate, I must say.
I appreciate that. Most of us are just trying to get the point across without wasting a breath. You know what I'm saying? It's that same trade off we talked about with thank you and good morning. Speed usually wins until the situation actually requires the weight of a real conversation.
Hmm. Definitely.
You're thinking about it. That
Yep.
silence usually means you've got one more curveball for me. What's on your mind?
Okay, so my last question for this final, for this 10-minute talk with you is, what does the history of this phrase tell us about human empathy?
Man, we really went from a piece of timber to the core of human empathy in 10 minutes. I think it shows that we've always struggled to put a name to the stuff that hurts. The fact that we have to borrow words from the physical world like matter, weight, or burdens just proves how abstract and overwhelming emotional pain feels. We need something tangible to hold on to so we can actually talk about it. It's like we're trying to build a bridge of words to reach someone else's internal world. It shows that even when we're lazy with our language or hide behind formal phrases, the drive to check in and bridge that gap is always there. Kind of a beautiful way to look at it, don't you think?
Definitely. Okay, so Miles, it was nice having a talk with you regarding this phrase. So I think it's just time to go, and goodbye and have a nice day.
Right back at you. I really enjoyed this dive into the weeds with you. Take it easy, and I'll be around whenever you've got another puzzle to solve. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Okay, guys, that was it for today, and I hope you guys enjoyed this talk. So, Allah Hafiz and goodbye.